Hello and welcome everyone. This is Academy of Earth Sciences and I am Sudhir Kumar Srivastava. Today in this video, I will be discussing the solutions to the NET questions which were asked in the geology paper in GATE 2022. In this video, I will be only discussing 6 questions since this is the first part of the NET solutions. The remaining other questions will be discussed in the following videos. Okay? So starting from the first question that is here on your screen. So this question was from thermodynamics. Okay? So you all must have studied thermodynamics in your classes. Okay? आप सबने thermodynamics पढ़ रखा होगा अपने classes में. So based on that theory आपको ये question आसान लगा होगा. ठीक है? And there was another reason that you may find this question to be easy. दूसरा रीजन एक और है आपको ये क्वेश्चन आसान लगेगा क्योंकि यहाँ पे आपको यूनिट्स दे रखी थी. The minimum requirement to solve this question was to know how to calculate change in entropy and change in volume. अगर आपको change in entropy और change in volume calculate करना आता है, which is a very basic thing in thermodynamics. ठीक है? Thermodynamics में ये काफी basic होता है कि आपको change in entropy calculate करना हो, change in enthalpy हो, आपको change in volume calculate करना हो. ये बहुत ही बेसिक चीज है. ठीक है? अगर आपको ये आता है तो आप ये क्वेश्चन कर लेते. Even if you don't know how to calculate the slope of the reaction, आपको अगर नहीं पता था कि स्लोप कैसे निकालते हैं, what is the formula of it, तो भी आप कर लेते हैं. Trust me, you would have done it by knowing the units. ठीक है? आप यूनिट्स की हेल्प से ये कर लेते हैं. Okay? मैं अभी दिखाऊंगा कैसे कर लेते हैं. So let me first read the question here. Okay? The following reaction occur at 1 bar and 873 Kelvin, and the reaction is Grossular plus quartz gives you anorthite plus wollastonite. So on the product side we have quartz and wollastonite. On the product side we have quartz and wollastonite, and on the reactant side we have Grossular and quartz. Okay, so this is the reaction. So moving on to the next part, that is the entropy of the minerals and the volume of the minerals is given to you, and you have been asked now using above molar thermodynamic data, the calculated slope of the above reaction is dash bar Kelvin. ठीक है? Dash bar Kelvin. See, we'll see the first method, that is using the units and dimensions. ठीक है? Units and dimensions की हेल्प से कैसे ये क्वेश्चन आसानी से हो जाएगा. And while I was saying this, I said the minimum requirement is if you know how to calculate change in entropy and change in volume. ठीक है? उससे पहले we'll calculate change in entropy and change in volume. So we all know that change in entropy is written as delta S. Okay, and it is written as entropy of the product minus entropy of the reactant. ठीक है? See, easy है ये. कुछ नहीं करना है. Addition subtraction is the only thing which you need to be doing here. क्या S प्रोडक्ट में क्या आपके अनॉर्थाइट है, वोलस्टोनाइट. ठीक है? तो उनकी एंट्रोपीज देख लेते हैं टेबल से. We'll see the entropy given here in the table of the anorthite and wollastonite. So anorthite का कितना है? 0.2. ठीक है? Plus wollastonite will be multiplying 2 with that. So 2 into 0.082. 2 into 0.082. Sorry, 0.082 minus reactant का कितना है? Reactant का 0.042 plus 0.255. So the value will come up. We should not forget the unit because unit is very important. So it will come out to be 0.067 kilojoule per Kelvin. You guys also calculate this. Okay? If there is any correction in the calculation, you can just let me know in the comment section. Okay? So 0.06 kilojoule per Kelvin is the value of delta S. Now likewise we'll be calculating delta V also. Delta V same, volume of product minus volume of reactants. Okay, so product में क्या होगा? 3.993 plus 2 into 10.079. Okay, right? And we'll subtracting the reactant, that is 12.535 plus 2.269. So when you will be doing so, you will be getting 3.261 and the unit is joule per bar. Okay, so now with the help of unit and dimensions, first we'll solve. Okay, in the question it was asked dash bar per Kelvin. So just think for a while, okay? How you get this bar per Kelvin? You don't know anything. You don't know about the calculation of the slope. You don't know any formula about it. You have calculated delta S and delta V. Now you have to calculate this part, okay? और मुझे क्या चाहिए? What I will be getting bar per Kelvin in the unit. So how this could be done? Just think for a while. How this could be done? कैसे कर लोगे ये? क्या करूंगा मैं? डेल्टा एस को मैं डेल्टा वी से डिवाइड कर लेता हूं. मुझे नहीं पता. I don't know whether this is the correct relation to calculate the slope of the line of the reaction or not. ठीक है? We are just satisfying the unit only. ठीक है? Unit is 0.067 kilojoule per Kelvin. Okay? And we saw that it is also 3.261 joule per bar. ठीक है? We know we can convert this kilojoule to joule. ठीक है? 1000 से मल्टीप्लाई कर दोगे तो क्या हो जाएगा? 67 जूल हो जाएगा. जूल पर केल्विन अपॉन 3.261 जूल पर बार. ओके, जूल and joule will cancel out each other. This bar will move to numerator part and this Kelvin will be moving to denominator part. So you will be getting 20.54 bar per Kelvin. C. Without knowing the formula also, we have calculated it. Okay, and the unit has come to be bar per Kelvin, which is what is required here. Okay, so we know that 20.5. If you don't know this question, okay, anyhow you are going to get 0. So why not at least try? Okay, why not use some brain? If you know you have units here, the majority of the thing is done. Okay, आपको units दे दी गई है, आपको पता है कि आप units की हेल्प से ही कर लोगे, तो छोड़ना है क्वेश्चन को. ठीक है, करके आपने 20.54 बार पर केल्विन, ये तो यूनिट एंड डायमेंशन से कर लिया आपने. ठीक है, विद द हेल्प ऑफ यूनिट एंड डायमेंशंस यू हैव डन दिस. बट what is the logic which is being applied to calculate this? Okay, see, you must have studied Clausius-Clapeyron equation in your classes. I am not going to explain how you get this Clausius-Clapeyron equation and all. Okay, that is a theoretical part. You must have been taught in your thermodynamics classes. Okay, you must be seeing a graph here. Okay, if I want to calculate the slope, of this curve at any point of time, okay, at any point of time, if I want to calculate the slope on this curve, I will calculate dp by dt. What I will calculate to calculate the slope of this curve, I will calculate dp by dt. Okay, and we know dp by dt equals to del s upon del v. Del s upon del v. That's it. That was only needed to be done. यही करना था आपको. ठीक है, क्योंकि डेल्टा एस आपने निकाल लिया, डेल्टा बी आपने निकाल लिया. You just needed to divide delta s by delta v. ठीक है, डेल्टा एस से आपको डेल्टा एस को डिवाइड करना था डेल्टा v से, and which is what we have done unknowingly to satisfy our units. ठीक है, वही हमने किया है. हमें तब भी फॉर्मूला नहीं पता तो भी हमने सही रिलेशन लगाया. Okay, we were not knowing the correct formula, but still to satisfy the units we used this formula, which is actually the correct one. Okay, so this is how you will be getting the slope of the reaction, and which will be coming out as 20.54 bar per Kelvin. Okay, and that is why I said this question is easy. Whether you know or don't know how to calculate the slope of this reaction, the minimum requirement is again only knowing the calculation of the change in entropy and the change in volume. Okay, so this is it. Now moving to the second question. So now coming to the second question, which is on your screen here. The question states that for a productive alluvial aquifer with hydraulic conductivity, the value of K is given to us, that is 105 meter per day. Okay, हमें hydraulic conductivity दी हुई है. Okay, and hydraulic gradient equals to 0.01. So we have also been given hydraulic gradient. First of all, what is gradient? Gradient क्या है? We have already been taught. Okay, gradient पता होगा ना, इस point of time सबको gradient, hydraulic gradient इस छोटी चीज पता होता है ना? We have already discussed. Gradient क्या होता है? Change of something with distance. That is gradient. And hydraulic gradient is change of hydraulic head with distance. That is hydraulic gradient. So it is dH upon dL, and that also justifies that it's a dimensionless quantity, which is why it is 0.01 without any units here. Okay, so now the flow rate is dash meter per day, so it has been asked to us to calculate flow rate, which is in meter per day. So if the unit is given to us, 20 to 30% of the work has been made easier for us. Okay, 20 से 30% काम आपका आसान कर दिया जाता है जब आपको यूनिट्स दे दी जाती हैं, क्योंकि you can cross check and verify whether you are getting correct answer or not. Okay, with the help of the units. But the major concern for me actually in this question is flow rate. When I use a word like flow rate, eventually mind में तुरंत क्या आएगा आपका? Either volumetric flow rate or mass flow rate. Okay, अगर आप गूगल भी करोगे ना फ्लो रेट को, तो it will always be telling you about volumetric flow rate. I have not read anywhere like flow rate calculate करने के लिए बोला जाए और आप velocity calculate कर रहे हो. Okay, so the word which is used like flow rate does not justify it, but see we have been given unit और हमारा काम है क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करना एग्जाम में, ठीक है, not to just cross question, but whatever concern I was having, that is what I was discussing. Okay, so instead of flow rate they would have used the word flow velocity or a Darcy flux or something like that. Okay, but since the unit is given to us, we can calculate this. We know in the your Darcy law, velocity is directly proportional to your hydraulic gradient, है ना, for the laminar flows. Okay, and that is what Darcy law is for. Okay, laminar flows के लिए Darcy law में क्या होता है, आपकी velocity आपकी hydraulic gradient के directly proportional होती है. If something is resting like this and you change the height, अगर आप उसकी height change कर रहे हो तो क्या होगा, इसकी velocity भी बदलेगी, है ना, gradient बढ़ा रहे हो तो आप उसकी velocity भी बढ़ा रहे हो, है ना, that is what it represents. So to remove this proportionality sign, we'll introduce a proportionality constant, and that is a hydraulic conductivity, K into dH upon dL. We have been given the value of this, we have been given the value of this, so the work is done. We have to calculate this V. So V equals to K, that is 105 meter per day into 0.01. Okay, what you get? Answer has to be in meter per day. So no change of units. It was a direct question. It will be 1.05 meter per day. That will be your flow rate according to this question. But still I am not convinced why they have used the word flow rate. Okay, so this is the answer, that is 1.05 meter per day. So now moving on to the next question. Now coming to the third question, which is here on your screen. Okay, and the question is, assume the rate of rotation of the earth is 7.27 raised to 10 to the power minus 5 radian per second. Okay, 10 to the raise minus 5 radian per second. So this is what? This is your angular velocity. Okay, this is angular velocity, and angular velocity is represented by omega. It is omega. It is 7.27 into 10 to the raise minus 5 radians per second. So this information has been given to us. ये information हमें दिया हुआ है about angular velocity. ठीक है? Now moving further, and the radius of the earth is 6371 kilometer. So radius of earth is also given to us. The radius of earth is 6371 kilometers. Okay? ठीक है? Now the acceleration at 60 degree latitudes for a spherically rotating earth is dash into 10 to the raise minus 3 meter per second square. Okay, so they are asking about the acceleration at 60 degree latitudes. This is doable, कर सकते थे आप, ठीक है, तो lambda 60 degree है, and they are asking the acceleration, and acceleration in meter per second square in the multiplication of 10 to the minus raise 3. Okay, so this you have to calculate. Okay, so consider a spherical body. This is a spherical body. Okay, and this is the center. This is the center. Radius is, this is the radius, and it is 6371 kilometers. Okay, and they have asked at 60 degree latitudes. So the latitude is 60 degree. Okay, and if it has to rotate, तभी तो acceleration की बात होगी ना. So if it is rotating, अगर ये latitudes के along move कर रहा है ना, if this is moving along the latitudes, ठीक है, तभी तो आपकी latitudes भी कितनी डिग्री है, 60 डिग्री. At 60 degree latitude, this point आपको acceleration निकालना है, ठीक है, we know this is r, ठीक, we know अगर ये r है, this can be broken it down into two components, है ना, स्पेस में अगर कोई चीज है, this is 3D, spherical क्या होता है, sphere is 3D, so in the a point in a space can be resolved into two components, है ना, अगर आप स्पेस में एक पॉइंट दूसरी पॉइंट को ज्वाइन कर रहे हो in a 3-dimensional form, so it can be resolved into two components, okay, so this component will be r sin theta and this component will be r cos theta, correct, okay, and to move in a circular motion, अगर मुझे ये circular motion करना है, okay, so there has to be a force, ठीक है, कौन सा force होगा, that will be your centripetal force, ठीक है, we know there is a pseudo force also which cancel out and all, because आपका centripetal force अगर centrifugal को exceed कर जाता है तो वो अंदर की तरफ plunge हो जाएगा, if centrifugal force exceeds तो बाहर की तरफ चला जाएगा, so those both forces has to be balanced, and that is a pseudo force, centrifugal force is a pseudo force, but we have a centripetal force, okay, which is directed towards the center and which helps a body to move in a circular motion, okay, and we know the value of, we know how to calculate the centripetal force, and that is represented by mv square upon r, okay, I will not derive that how we got here, आप सब ने पढ़ रखा होगा अपने क्लासेस में, ठीक है, कि Fc equals to mv square upon r होता है, that is a very basic concept in the earthing solar system, and you all must have been taught, ठीक है, आपको ये बता दिया गया होगा, ठीक, now what I will do, I will replace this r with r cos theta, क्योंकि यहाँ पे r नहीं, r cos theta की हेल्प से ये सर्कुलर मोशन होगा, and that will be the radius here, ठीक है, तो मैं क्या लिखूंगा, Fc equals to mv square upon r cos theta, okay, there is also a relation we all know about, okay, क्या है, linear velocity and angular velocity के बीच का relation, we all know the relation between linear velocity and the angular velocity, which is linear velocity is equals to the product of angular velocity and the radius, so I can write v, which is your linear velocity, is equals to angular velocity and its product with your radius, but here it will not be r because it is r cos theta, okay, so we'll write r cos theta, so we can write v equals to omega r cos theta, okay, now I can replace this one, the value of v in this, okay, I can write f equals to m into v square, that is omega square r square cos square theta, and again we have r cos theta in denominator, so this cancels out this one and it becomes r cos theta, okay, we know force equals to mass into acceleration, that is centripetal acceleration, okay, and that will be helping only to rotate in the circular motion, that is moving in the latitudes, okay, at 60-degree latitude. See, so m and m will be cancelling out each other, so we get the value of acceleration here to be as omega square r cos theta, okay, this is the value and this is what we have to calculate, okay, so we have every values given to us, we have now the only work which is left to just calculate it, ठीक है, एक ही काम बचा है, calculate करना, सब कुछ आपको दे रखा गया, ठीक है, so we'll be calculating it, AC equals to omega, that is 7.27 into 10 to the raise minus 5 radian per second, units नहीं बोलना है, ठीक है, का स्क्वायर into, that is your r, okay, r is 6371 and I will multiply with 1000 because our question in the question it is asked in meter per second square, so I will convert kilometer into meter per second, see, okay, so it will be meter and multiplied by 1000, okay, it will be meter multiplied by 1000 and cos 60 degree, we all know cos 60 is half 1 by 2, so since I have calculated, I know 7.27 square is 58.29 into 10 to the power minus 10, radian square does not concern us, will be only left with second inverse 2, okay, and 6371,000 meter into 1 by 2, and we have to only calculate this part, okay, let me check the information here, whether we have done correct or not. Okay, yes. Okay, so the values will be getting as 168362912.95. After solving this, after you will be multiplying all this all whole, okay, you will be getting this meter per second square. I know this because I have already calculated, okay. So you guys just check it out whether the calculation part is correct or not, okay. And if there is any mistake in the calculation, you can just comment it below, okay, that will be corrected. So I have to calculate in terms of, and it will be 10 to the minus 10. In terms of 10 to the raise minus 3. So what I have to do, ठीक है, बच्चों की तरह कर रहे हैं, इंटू 10 की पावर 7 से ऊपर नीचे मल्टीप्लाई कर देते हैं तो ये 10 की पावर माइनस 3 बन जाएगा, ठीक है. So we will be doing what we will do, we will be multiplying by numerator of 10 की पावर 7 and denominator by 10 की पावर 7. So this becomes 10 to the minus power 3. So 10 to the power 7, यहाँ से 7 काउंट करके आप पॉइंट को शिफ्ट कर दो, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 here. So it's 16.83629125 into 10 to the power minus raised 3 meter per second square. Since it was asked to approximate it, okay, up to one decimal place, so I'll write 16.8 into 10 to the power minus 3 meter per second square as our answer. Okay, see why I have not left any points, because I do not want to take risk in exam, neither you want to take, because in GATE every point matters, okay, every decimal place matters, okay. So you should not leave any decimal while calculating. We have to, if it will be asked to approximate at the end, you just do the approximation part at the end only, ठीक है. आप end में approximation part कर लो, but start में नहीं करना, risk नहीं लेना, ठीक है. अगर आपको concept clear है, आपको आता है, so calculation के साथ chances नहीं लेने चाहिए, ठीक है. So this is the answer, okay. Now moving on to the next question. Now coming to the fourth question, which is here on your screen. See, in this question actually the words may not be same as it was asked in your exam, because based on the memory, whatever the information was with us, we have reconstructed this question, but the gist and the essence of this question remains the same, okay. Question में ज़्यादा बदलाव नहीं हुआ, ठीक है. Words may be different, आपके words different हो सकते हैं एग्जाम में जो पूछे गए थे, but जो calculate करने बोला गया है, that is everything is in order, okay. So we'll be seeing what it is telling us, okay. The angle of inclination of the remnant magnetization of a volcanic rock at the time of its magnetization is 45 degree. Therefore, the resulting orientation of the Earth's magnetic field is dash degree north. Okay, and we have to calculate up to one decimal place. Okay, this is a very easy question because we have all read paleomagnetism. आप सबने paleomagnetism पढ़ा होगा plate tectonics में. And there is a formula 10I equals to 210 lambda. ठीक है, formula है 10I equals to 210 lambda. So the inclination is being given to us, okay, which is 45 degree, and it has asked to calculate the lambda. Okay, very simple. You have to only put the values here. Okay, so 1045 equals to 2 into 10 lambda. So 1045 is 45 degrees 1, which is equals to 210 lambda. Again 10 lambda equals to 1 by 2, and lambda equals to 10 inverse 1 by 2. So if you will be calculating the 10 inverse 1 by 2, it will come to be 26.56. And since it is asking up to one decimal place, we'll just be approximating it to 26.6 approximately. Okay, and this will be 26.6 degree north approximately. This will be your answer. Okay, so this question was very easy. This was a very easy question based on the formula. You just had to put the values only. ठीक है, values put करने के inclination के, इससे आपको latitude मिल जाता है. ठीक. So now moving on to the next question. So now coming to the fifth question, which is on your screen here. Okay, the question is: a mineral of uniform composition is cut into a wedge shape. Okay, the birefringence of the wedge section is 0.012. So you have been given birefringence, which is 0.012. by reference, okay, which is given to you as 0.012. So moving on to the next part, that is the retardation at 40 micrometer thickness of the wedge is dash nanometer. Okay, we have to calculate the value of retardation in nanometer, and the thickness is given. The thickness is given to us as 40 micrometer. See, this is a very easy question. Very easy question. This is again also a formula based question from the mineralogy part. So what the formula of retardation is? Retardation is represented by delta, which is equals to ns minus nf into h. This nf minus nf is your birefringence. Okay, so we have been given the value of birefringence, which is 0.012. Okay, and the h is 40 micrometer. So you will simply calculate this, and this will come to be as 0.48 micrometer. And now we have to convert this micrometer to nanometer. So 1 micrometer is 1000 nanometers. Okay, 10 to the power 3. So 0.48 micro into 1000 gives you nanometer, and that will be 480 nanometers. So the retardation will be 480 nanometers. So this was a very easy question. Okay, I guess all of you have done this question. So now moving on to the next question, that is the last question of this video. The sixth question, which is here on your screen, the question is the average bulk density of a fully saturated sandstone reservoir with a fractional porosity of 0.23 is dash gram per cc. Round off to up to 2 decimal places. Okay, so the fractional porosity is given to us, fractional porosity, which is 0.25. What other information is given to us? Let us see. Assume matrix density for sandstone is equals to 2.63 gram per cc. Okay, matrix density is given to us. Matrix density दी हुई है हमें, that is 2.63 gram per cc. Okay, and what other thing is given to us? The other thing which is given to us is fluid density. Fluid density, आपको fluid density भी दी हुई है. Okay, which is 1.05 gram per cc. ठीक है. Now coming again to this part, fractional porosity. Okay, what is fractional porosity? How it is different from porosity? They both are same. Okay, just यहाँ पे क्या किया है? They have used the word fractional. Okay, when we are calculating porosity, it is already a fraction. What you calculate? You calculate the volume of voids to the total volume. Okay, actually it is the fraction of voids only. Okay, you are calculating the fraction of voids, that is volume of voids with respect to your total volume. So it has written fractional porosity, nothing has changed here. Okay, ठीक है. तो आप किसी ने यहाँ पे ज्यादा दिमाग लगा दिया होगा फ्रैक्शनल पोरोसिटी वर्ड सुन के. सो ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, इट इज पोरोसिटी ओनली. सो पोरोसिटी in general terms, what it is basically defined, it is volume of voids to the total volume. Okay, the total volume. So I can write, if the fractional porosity is given to us as 0.23. ठीक है, so ये 0.23 आया कैसे होगा? ठीक है, let us suppose कि 0.23 को तुम कैसे लिख सकते हो? It can be written as 23 upon 100. Could be written as 23 upon 100, no? Then we will get 0.23. So I can say that the volume of voids is 23 centimeter cube, and the total volume is 100 centimeter cube. Okay, it's just a way of writing. Okay, instead of this, I can also assume x and x, or instead of x, you can assume that the total volume to be v. So the volume of voids is 0.23 v. So see, I do not want to play in variables. ठीक है, variables में हम नहीं खेलना चाहते हैं. That is why I have taken numbers. ठीक है, numbers, you understand numbers better. Instead of variables, you understand numbers better. Okay, क्योंकि अगर variables लेंगे confusion होगी, cluttering होगी, and at some point of time में तुम एग्जाम में जाके क्या करते, आप छोड़ देते इसको, है ना, आप छोड़ देते. क्या होता है? क्योंकि अगर variables लेके चलोगे तो लेकिन नंबर्स क्या होते हैं, नंबर्स दिखते रहते हैं, यू ऑलवेज सी नंबर्स, यू आर अराउंड द सॉल्यूशन, ओके, you were somewhere around the solution when we are dealing with the numbers. Dealing with numbers is easy. That's why we have assumed that the volume, total volume to be 100. So what we have assumed, let us say total volume to be 100, okay, 100 centimeter cube, and out of that we have the volume of voids to be 23 centimeter cube. Okay, so volume of voids is 23 centimeter cube. Okay, now we have been given the fluid density, which is 1.05 gram per cc. See, where does this fluid will occupy? Where does this fluid will occupy in sample? The fluid will occupy in the pore spaces, in the voids. Okay, suppose that this is a sample. We have been given this as sample, okay, and you have matrix in it. Okay, you have certain matrix, and these are voids. So this fluid will be occupied. ये fluid कहाँ occupy हो जाएगा? आपके voids में occupy हो जाएगा ना. So the volume of voids will be the volume of the liquid. जो voids की volume होगी, वही liquid की volume होगी. So I can say that the volume of voids is equals to VL. Okay, since it is saturated, this sandstone is saturated with liquid and matrix. Okay, it comprises this reservoir, sandstone reservoir. This sandstone reservoir is saturated with liquids plus matrix. Okay, it comprises both your liquids and matrix. So the volume of liquids is equals to volume of voids. So it comes out to be 23 centimeter cube, and we know the density of the liquid. Okay, it is 1.05 gram per cc. Can we calculate the volume of it? Sorry, can we calculate the mass of the fluid? Yes, we can calculate, because we know density equals to mass upon volume. Okay, so mass equals to density into volume. So in this way we can calculate the mass of the liquid, ml comes out to be 1.05 gram per cc multiplied by 23 centimeter cube. I have calculated, so I know this. You also calculate it and check whether you are also getting the same value or not. Okay, 24.5 gram per 24.5 gram, because cc will be cancelling out each other and will be left with 20 gram only. Okay, so it is 24.5 gram. So if you have the volume of the voids to be 23 centimeter cube, ठीक है, अगर इस sandstone में आपके जो ये voids हैं, ठीक है, ये जो dotted marks हैं, that is your voids, अगर इनकी volume 23 centimeter cube है, इस पूरे sample की volume 100 centimeter cube है, then whether you can calculate the volume of the matrix or not. आप matrix की volume calculate कर सकते हो. How do you calculate? You will simply subtract the volume of voids from the total volume. ठीक है, आप क्या करोगे, total volume से volume of voids को subtract कर दोगे, तो आपको matrix की volume मिल जाएगी. ठीक है, यहाँ पे लिखूंगा तो आपको दिखेगा नहीं. So I will be writing here, है ना, matrix की volume कैसे निकलेगी, VM लिख देता हूँ, V matrix. Okay, so it's total volume minus your volume of voids, which is 100 minus 23 centimeter cube, which is 77 centimeter cube. Now again, can you calculate the mass of the matrix? Yes, we can calculate the mass of the matrix, because we have been given the density of the matrix. Okay, so the same formula applies here. Density equals to ms upon v. So ms comes out to be your 2.63 gram per cc multiplied by 77 centimeter cube, and it comes out to be 202.15, I guess. Okay, it will come out to be 202.15 grams. So the bulk mass of this sample will be MB. Bulk mass of this sample will be 202.15 gram added to 24.5 gram. 24.5. Yes, 24.5. Let me check whether the values are correct or not. Yes, 202. Sorry, it is get to be 202.51, and you will get here 24.15 gram. Okay, now it is correct. Okay, and you will be getting 226.66 gram. So now you can calculate the bulk density, which will come out to be. I will write here. I am erasing this one. Instead of fractional porosity, you can just write rho B equals to the total mass MB upon total volume is TB equals to 100. So 226.66 gram upon 100 centimeter cube, and which comes out to be 2.26. Yes, which comes out to be 2.26 gram per cc, and that will be rho B, and that will be our answer. Okay, so this will be the correct answer. It will be 2.26 gram per cc. See, this was easy. Again, it was also a good question, but it was conceptual, and if you have a very clear you are clear with your concept, then you will be able to solve this question easily. Okay, so the correct answer is 2.26 gram per cc. Now, some people might have done applied this formula. Which formula? Rho B equals to, phi equals to 1 minus rho B upon rho S. Some people might have done this, and I am very much sure of this. Okay, they might have thought that the density of the liquid is to trick us, so the density of the bulk density will be calculated through this formula. But let me tell you why this formula will not be used. ठीक है, ये formula use नहीं होगा. ये आपको यहाँ पे liquid की density आपको trick करने के लिए नहीं दी. ये जब आप ये formula आपको पढ़ाया गया होगा, जहाँ पे आप पढ़ रहे होगे, तो आपको ये बताया गया होगा this formula when you were deriving this formula. Okay, when you were deriving this formula, there it was specifically mentioned that MB equals to MS. Okay, the bulk mass equals to the mass of the solid. ठीक है, या matrix or the matrix. Wherever you must be reading, wherever you were reading that if you have been derived this formula, phi equals to 1 minus rho B upon rho S, you must have been told that the bulk mass is here equals to the mass of the solids or the matrix. There the fluid was absent. वहां पे fluid नहीं था. But यहाँ पे saturated है. This reservoir is saturated, and here the fluid is also present. ठीक है, यहाँ पे fluid भी present है. तो अब इस bulk mass के लिए you will have to consider the mass of the liquid also. Okay, you cannot leave it out. You cannot just leave the mass of the liquid here, because we are talking about the saturated reservoir, which is saturated with the liquid. Okay, and the matrix as well. That is why this formula is not applicable in this question, and this is how you have to calculate the bulk density. Okay, average bulk density. So now coming to the analysis of your question paper, knowing the nature of the question paper, whether it was easy, moderate or tough. Okay, so from the point where I see the paper was moderate and of conceptual nature. Okay, if you are conceptually sound, you would have easily scored marks in it. Okay, it was doable, it was scoreable. Okay, but again the trickier part remains the MSQs. Okay, there were like 12 MSQs, 14 NATs, and the remaining were MCQs. So to talk about like cutoff or something, it is still very early, because again MSQs will define everything. Okay, because to score marks in MSQs, you have to be correct. Like you have to select all the correct options. Okay, then only you will be getting marks in it. अगर आप सारे options correct select करोगे MSQs में, तभी आपको marks मिलेंगे, है ना? या एक भी correct answer हो सकते हैं, more than one भी correct answer हो सकते हैं, ठीक है? So this is a bit tricky. So let the response sheet come, then we can discuss over this cutoff thing. But if I have to take a guess, if I would take a wild guess, it will be like 38 to 42. This will fall around something like this. Okay, that's it. So this is it from this video. We'll be meeting very soon with another video. Till then, take good care of yourself. See you. Bye bye.
Hell yeah.